Men who got flirted with. What is the most obvious a girl has ever made it for you? One time a woman invited me to her place to Netflix and chill, and I turned her down because I don't really enjoy television and wasn't aware of the phrase. That's such a Costanza move. Would you like to come up for coffee? Oh no thanks. I can't drink coffee late at night. Came to comments for this. A girl that I worked with flirted with me for months, and I was completely oblivious to it. In my defense, I was working one full-time job and 2 part-time jobs. She finally decided she was going to take matter into her own hands and walked up and kissed me. 18 months later we were married. Why 18 months? That how long it took you to figure out she wanted to marry you too? Nope. I asked in August, but she wanted a full wedding. So she had to wait almost a year. She sat on my lap at a party and wiggled to grind on my crotch. I didn't get the clue. Jiffy vertical bar 1 vesks 0 CQD2. Yesterday I helped these girls with some bags they were struggling with, and they asked me if I wanted to hang out. I said, no, I need to shower and go to the airport. One responded, you want to shower together? Seemed pretty straightforward. I love starting with a shower. Breaks the ice. Fun. You come out very clean for whatever follows. I once had a real life girl next door scenario. I had such a crush on her. We went to school together and ended up being neighbors just after high school. When both of us still lived at home, we got to talking, texting, and made plans to hang out. She invited me to take a ride in her new car. So we drive around, talking, laughing, all the like. After a while she sighs and says that she'd love to keep hanging out, but her parents were home. I told her that parents were home too. This woman drives the car into the most secluded location known to man in this small town that we lived in, and parked it in a spot that had we both died on the spot, we wouldn't have been found for days or weeks. What does my dumber do? I keep trying to flirt with my stupider jokes for a consecutive 45 minutes, right in front of a woman who I realized only years later quite obviously wanted to have sex with me. She got bored, told me she was tired, and drove us back to our neighborhood and dropped me off. I was not invited to a second outing. A lot of us guys don't realize you don't have to play the game like you played it until you finally got to that secluded area. She took you there and was hoping you would figure out exactly the type of bad boy she was looking for. For some women, literal consent is a turn off. I was in line waiting to pay for groceries. A woman bumped her shopping cart into my heel. I turned around. She must have been about 65 years old. I'm sorry, she said. No problem, I replied. Turning back around, she said, in her most seductive granny voice, sometimes I just feel so naughty. I walked directly to another cashier avoiding eye contact. This is my favorite story yet. I was working part-time at a call center and there was a girl that would sit across from me and chat to me during my shift. I was 21 at the time, and by that point, I had pretty much given up on the idea of a woman ever finding me attractive. So I was totally oblivious and just thought she was being friendly. Then, one day, she wore a low-cut dress and leaned over the desk to get a pencil from my side, waiting long enough for me to get a good look at her. That's when it finally clicked. I might have missed that. Oh man. Better pretend that didn't happen. She'd be so embarrassed if she knew her tits were hanging out like that. After casually talking about food with this babe of a woman, she offered to make me some peanut butter fudge. She made a whole 11-inch x 13-inch pan of it for me. I thought she was just being nice. Was walking off the plane and the flight attendant asked me if this was my final stop. I told her it was. Oh, me too. I'm staying at so and so hotel. Teehee. That's nice. Unfortunately for me, my wife was walking right behind me and heard the whole thing. I'm an old hand, so I knew she was flirting with me, and if there was any doubt, my angry wife was sure to let me know how much she was flirting with me. Something similar has happened to me as well. The missus acts a little upset, but I can also tell she likes that other women are into me. Man. I wish you weren't gay. Me. I'm not. Good. We made out. I like this plan. We were chatting. She said, I have to leave because I have to work early tomorrow morning. Want to come home with me and go to work the next morning? What no? Took off her clothes, threw them at me, and said come get it. Hey, you know, just because she's my wife doesn't mean she can't flirt. At the end of our first date my wife pinned me against my Subaru and kissed me passionately. Obviously I had to marry her just to keep her around, so that maybe someday I'll figure out if she was flirting with me or not. See? Can't tell. Can I see what this dress looks like on your bedroom floor? We'll try this. Hope I don't end up on some list. Went on a date to a Mexican restaurant. We ordered their signature margaritas which ended up being huge. At the end of the meal she still hasn't finished hers, and she asked me if I would finish it. I said sure. Wouldn't want you to think I'm trying to get you drunk and take advantage of you. And she replied I want you to take me home and take advantage of me. So I did what the lady requested. You finished her margarita? Came over to my house, laid in my bed, napped together, took off her shirt, asked if I had a boner, and then got on top of me and I was still overthinking and wondering if she liked me and if I should make a move or not. But what if she's only naked and laying down on me as a friend? The only reality that a woman would get naked and be in proximity to me is if she didn't think of me as a sexual partner. At least that's what my brain would do. I'll tell the funniest one though. When I was like 16 or something, there was this girl slightly older, probably 18. Beach vacations, exchanged of looks, and distant flirting for days. During a moment she writes I love you in about 5 diff languages on sand. Also a heart with her name and a question mark. I was like, can't get more obvious than this. Time to go talk to her. Magically my mom appears with some BS story to go somewhere, or SMTH like that. Killed the whole momentum. Thanks mom. And they have the gall to complain about nobody having kids anymore. I was the tar in my university choir. A girl in the choir introduced herself to me, completely unprovoked. We are now married. Going to agree with others. Had the pages grabbed. Caught me off guard not complaining though. Forgot to add. It was a coworker on work travel. We were drinking with other coworkers and she was sitting next to me. From the other side no one could see her hand. I pretended like it wasn't happening. Never brought it up. Next day we acted like nothing happened. I don't where I eat. That's harassment. Lots of looking and smiling and then basically sitting on my lap. Loads of skin on skin contact. My dumber of course didn't understand this wasn't down to the crowdedness. Was at a club. Girl started dancing with me, then leaned in and asked me if I wanted to get out of there. Yes I did. At the bar, we were drinking and she told me she wanted me to come back to her place and fool around. I told her I was a virgin and not interested in having sex outside of a relationship. She said, and I quote, if you come back to my place you can use my dildo on me. This is the most obvious a woman has ever been with me. And maybe ever. Did you actually use dildo? Yes in fact I did. It was pink and sparkly. It was kind of hot, but it was even better as a wild story. Hey so you're kinda oblivious, so I'm just going to ask. Do you want to go have sex right now? My dumber asked if I could finish my beer first. We dated for about 6 months. She was fun, but she wasn't ready for an actual relationship. Damn near glued herself to me at work. Literally everyone around me, except me knew lol. I figured it out eventually. I think I'm in the same situation right now. But I can't be sure if she's just being nice. Or, we have worked in the same department for years. But we have worked on the same shift only since August 2025. Here are some things she does. 1. She always waits for me when shift is over. And the walk to the car park is quite a long one. 2. She tell me what her plans are when we are going on rest week. We work 3 weeks, off 1 week. 4. If I'm gonna get coffee or such, she wants to tag along. 5. She asks to taste the lunch I bring, almost always. 6. She likes showing me pictures of what she got up to during our time off. Don't know if counts as flirting, but I've had my pages grabbed by a few women. Man, I had a previous partner do that in the least sexy way possible and got upset that I didn't like it. It can be done tastefully, but don't just grab it like it's a toy, please. Goodness. A younger woman with her friend came up to me outside Starbucks and told me she wants to give me a blowjob. I worked in a leadership position in a large organization. I assumed there was potential for her to be a subordinate I didn't recognize, so I turned her down. Good call. Out of the blue, stranger at a Starbucks, there's an angle there. Either something like you suspected, or you were gonna get robbed. 1. She asked if I was horny. No, I didn't get the hint. 2. You can knock on my door anytime you want. I did not want. Okay, I kind of did, but didn't. Context for #2. I was helping a friend who escorts, and a friend of hers who also escorts took a liking to me. There's a 90% chance she was just looking for another paying client. I'd be better with your C in my mouth was pretty much the most forward one for me. Knocked on my door in panties and a loose tank top. Where were her clothes?